Good evening, it's Arena, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, chilly, rainy, shitty day in San Antonio. Okay, I wanted to take some time out and watch a documentary of Avenged Sevenfold. So what I found was it's going to be different parts because it's like over an hour, and the channel is TSTS, and the video is the making of Avenged Sevenfold documentary extras. And then it talks about upscaled So I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to do it in about maybe like 4 or 5 parts. So let's go ahead, get some popcorn, have some fun. Let's go.
Hey kids, what's going on? We're at Avenged Sevenfold headquarters right now. Mr. Zachy V, Mr. Sinister G. This place is it's become our home. So yeah, we're totally in the middle of making this album, and it's just been absolutely crazy. It's gonna get crazier. So this is it, Big Blue Building. Check it out.
Making the album.
The clarinet stuff. See, I'm making my airtime.
Oh, yeah!
He's sitting down too.
Oh, really?
Fuck
yeah! All right, let's put the mic down towards him. Are you gonna sit for this one? Fuck yeah!
Organ.
Critical acclaim.
Hold on a second. So this is the self-titled album, which, okay. Is there anything else? In the link, it'll tell you all the chapters and such. Like they're starting with the intro, and then they're starting with critical acclaim. Let's go back just a little bit.
Fuck yeah!
Critical acclaim was the song that was probably one of the first ones that we'd written for this album.
First song we had an idea for, and it was just completely mapped out in its entirety before we even wrote any riffs or anything, so it was definitely a departure from how we usually do it.
And at first I was a little bit skeptical because it's always weird to hear what your band members are coming up with that's new in a different direction. And we'd been playing the songs from City of Evil for so long.
And so we wanted to make a song that was sort of like very riff-driven, very simple. So I think I remember picking up some guitar and just laying down this simple
Sinister.
Matt saw the demo all along and knew how it would turn out, but it wasn't until we got in the studio and started adding layers and just making it huge and really working on the lyrics. It was one of my first times really collaborating with him on lyrics, and we just wanted to get a really good message across.
I want everyone to have to do this, because this is gonna suck.
So how does it feel to know that someone's kid in the heart of America has blood on their hands defending your rights,
I remember that one.
so you can tag his family's existence?
Yeah, dude. We wanted
Sound real good. Sound real good. Let's go.
Started adding layers and just making it huge and really working on the lyrics. It was one of my first times really collaborating with him on lyrics, and we just wanted to get a really good message across.
How does it feel to know?
I want everyone to have to do this, because this is gonna suck.
So how does it feel to know that someone's kid in the heart of America has blood on their hands defending your rights, maintaining your lifestyle so you can tag his family's existence?
Yeah, dude. We wanted it to just set the mood for the entire record. We want it to be in your face, powerful, to mean something, to say something.
That's cool.
Kind of one of those songs that you can be driving around and it'll just really slam right off the bat.
Critical Acclaim turned out to be like the heaviest, fucking craziest song we've ever laid down.
That's what we want right there.
That's
It's really
so
cool to have all the different vibes.
Have any of you been into a recording studio or anything like that? I don't think I ever have.
It turned out to be successful and so powerful.
Now this part of the song, the piano comes in and like these nice lyrics come in. It gets like this swaying type of feel. Very like moving, you know, like it's got to be floating. And then you kind of do like, and then, and you dive bomb into the fucking. Yeah.
That song really, the magic really happened here in the studio.
We were writing for weeks and weeks, and one of the last days I was like, well, we have this song, Critical Acclaim, and it's, you know, it's grooving, but the chorus isn't anything to be really desired.
In this record, throughout the whole thing, we wanted to bring a lot of the live elements that we have of everyone singing.
Everyone has a great voice in the band, so we decided to split all the backup parts and shit like that amongst ourselves rather than just having Matt sing everything.
Like those? Cool, let's move on to the second verse.
When we were demoing the song, the Rev sang the vocal melody to the chorus.
And the Rev had this very simple chorus with a couple chords, which is the chorus you hear today, and he's all letting it down.
When it came time to actually track it, it was definitely an element that we wanted to have in the song was the Rev coming up in the chorus, something that we haven't done before.
He laid it down, sang this thing, and I was like, dude, you sound awesome singing it. You should sing the chorus.
Oh.
That was cool, dude.
That was everything.
We have this kind of cool intro, and it's kind of supposed to be a fake out, you know, like you think you're gonna get a typical Avenged Sevenfold song with some dueling guitars and stuff, and it just kicks in and kicks your ass. And it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the record that, you know, we're still Avenged Sevenfold, but this is a very much more groove-oriented, groove-based record.
Fuji's. Anybody take an order?
Got a camera, I'll take an order.
Yeah.
Almost Easy was a song that the Rev came to the garage with where we were demoing out the album.
Jimmy, like, you know, went into hiding for a while. Didn't really go into hiding, but he went and started writing. And he's like,
I don't think I've heard this song.
a song, bring it to you guys and show you it. So he comes over one day and Almost Easy has been written.
He started playing this guitar that we just didn't know what he was doing there yet. We were listening to it, we were kind of smiling, you know, like, where's this going?
And when you see the drummer play the song, it doesn't really come across as great as it could be. You know, he's like, oh, I can do that riff so good, and just imagine it. Brian refused to play it. He just refused to play it. He didn't like it. He thought it was just cheesy, and at the time it did sound a little cheesy because it was just, you know, one note.
And then as soon as he was finished, he started putting on this drum beat. In the verses, he went to this really cool, it's almost like a Latin drum beat, but very metal at the same time. It was very different from what we were expecting.
Almost Easy kind of goes more for the shredding, aggressive vibe, like kind of an old school vibe. Has a lot of new contemporary flavor to it, throwing in shit like double ride.
Oh.
It was one of the first times that we'd ventured off and everyone took over on the vocal duties for the backups.
In the studio, we decided to come up with these backgrounds. Mother had it all. We had everyone sing on it, all 5 voices.
All 5 voices, that's amazing.
Doubled them up, made a huge like choir pad type sound, and
Right.
some sub bass on there, and made the song a little more palatable as to just being a pure thrasher.
Thrashing ass tone.
We didn't have plans for that. It was just kind of a one-line sort of thing, and it turned into harmonies. And so those kind of things I really love to have happen in the studio because it's a surprise to everybody.
Any of you that have seen us live know that we do all our own vocals. We would have to mimic Matt's voice in order to make it sound the best. And this time we wanted to take our own voices and mesh them together. And it really just gave that song, and all the songs for that matter, just a whole new dimension that we've never really done before. So now I think when you do see us live, we've already captured that on the recording. The song was going to be in Transformers, the movie, and then it wasn't.
It transformed.
Transformed into not being happening.
And lyrically, it's about
It was supposed to be on Transformers and it wasn't. It wasn't in it. I never watched any of them. My husband has.
people mess up a lot in their life. They fuck up all the time, and it's easy to forgive those. Sometimes it's easy to forgive those people. Sometimes it's not. You know, it's always easy to say you're forgiven, but deep in your heart, you don't really want to forgive that person because it's almost easy. This is the catchphrase. It's almost easy to just say, okay, you're forgiven, or it's almost easy just to let go, or it's almost easy just to give up.
I'm holding in the my internal organs have just failed. It's a massive internal failure. Like, I can feel, usually one of them will pain as opposed to, you know, another, but they're all going, yeah, they're still going. Wait! They're still going, dude. No, you just gotta fucking, like, hey, come on! You know, like the old Nintendo system where you gotta fucking just be like, hey, come on, play the game.
I still have the original NES, and I do understand all the things you had to do to be able to play a game, but still rad.
Scream is a song that's a little darker and a little more vicious, I guess, than some of the stuff we've done before.
Definitely a very focused song. Right from the beginning, we really wanted to slow this record down, have it be a really groove-oriented album. We've never really done that kind of stuff. The Rev is a freak when it comes down to laying just a wonderful groove down.
We wanted to slow down the record to a tempo of about like 140, kind of the idea of where your heart rate is.
And we just wanted it to have a ton of vibe and just a ton of energy.
It almost has like a modern, old school, very, very early Avenged Sevenfold dark vibe.
I love things like that, so I definitely want to hear Scream.
We wanted it to be like kind of like almost not violent, but like a pleasure through killing type of a vibe.
That one rules.
Yeah,
I don't think we need any more.
sexy,
Or
but
maybe
I don't
one
know
more?
what it's about.
Shits and giggles.
One more, shits and giggles.
There's a few parts in that song that we tried that have never been done by us, like the incorporation of using extreme sub bass.
We got our buddy J.E., hip-hop producer, actually, to come in and do some 808 blasts, and he made all those, and it came out really great. We just heard those a couple weeks ago for the first time.
Dude, the backups and screams are crazy. Mix.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been listening
Yeah, I like the way that groove goes.
to that.
And I grew up with a lot of hip hop as well, like a lot. So
Is it up a little louder or something?
Yeah.
like the beat.
So if you have a system with subs, you're actually gonna hear just a super low sub bass come in, and it'll just rattle your speakers. And I think that's something that, you know, hard rock, heavy metal bands and songs haven't really done.
We're in Vegas a lot, and I like to gamble. I love to gamble. That's a good time. I was like, you know, that chromatic scale when you pull on a slot machine.
Too.
I was like, that'd be pretty fucking sick as a riff. Zachy came back with a full-on chromatic scale.
Like,
You know, he took the idea and it was awesome. He sent us this demo of it. We're like, yeah, that's perfect. That's really cool. Brian went home and he came up with the kind of added a little more groove to it. The
Yeah, that's sick.
He's always been a really big fan of those type of like grooving, like bending, huge guitars.
I love that.
He just loves that stuff. And he loves it when it's a little bit out of tune and a little bit, you know, wavering a little bit so it's not too pretty sounding. The guitar solo, we were actually lifting weights, working out, and I was like, dude, you know what would be cool in the beginning of the record would be if you just shredded over something and you didn't even really, it really didn't even have any notes. You're just doing a motif of like a over and over and over.
Okay. And the solo is the hardest solo to play because it's all picked. It may sound like it's something else, but it's all picked. It's all those fast, ridiculous triplets, and I don't know how I'm gonna play it live, but we'll figure it out.
That's a badass solo.
It's a song that you could definitely bang your head to, or you can always see one of your favorite dancing girls dancing to it.
To me, this song with the riffs and stuff was like a strip club anthem, you know, just pure groove. Girls can dance to it.
I was thinking the same thing. I said it was sexy and everything, but I don't know what it's about lyrical wise, but it is sexy.
At the end of that song, we kind of wanted to make it like kind of coming in and out and a little bit more of like a euphoric type of feeling. So me and our engineer Fred sat up really late one Saturday night and we started messing around with samples and with delays and reverbs and different sorts of things, and we sat there and just took all my vocals and took them apart and let them go through it.
I love it.
I like the way it goes, it like blends into the chorus.
That's the craziest, yeah.
So that's how Scream came about. We didn't want it to be like, oh, here's a grooving part and we're gonna ruin it with a fast part. Kept the whole thing grooving, the whole thing's the same tempo, and it just always makes you bop your head. You'll never hear a part in that song where you don't just want to go like this.
This fits.
Perfect.
Afterlife is a really interesting song.
It's just a really adventurous song, probably one of the longer tracks on this record.
We were all frantically writing, trying to come up with the best stuff, and
I have reacted to Afterlife.
Jimmy was actually kind of AWOL for a little while, and we were really trying to get him to come in and write and stuff.
Just a spoonful of Jimmy helps the whole world go down.
He came one day and said, I have a song for you guys. Little did we know he had this full song that he'd been, you know, hoarded away in his house writing, and we heard it and we just flipped out. He just really stepped up to the plate, and typical the Rev fashion, the chorus is extremely catchy. It has a pop element, but in a more like somber tone. Lyric-wise, it's really a cool concept because you can apply it to, you know, your own life and relationships and stuff, but that's not what it's intended for. The actual storyline is a
That's pretty cool, that putting a little bit of... I like that they're taking a different kind of genres mixed in, but making Avenged Sevenfold, if that makes sense. You've got some pop, you have a little bit of hip-hop. I love that because it keeps you going and it's not the same thing over and over. I dig it.
About a person that finds themselves in the afterlife and they realize they have too much stuff left on Earth to do, and to go back and make it right, you know, they have to escape from their afterlife so they can go back and make amends with the people they love and care about.
Imagine if there is a heaven and you're a crappy person in real life and you show up and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I was a crappy person. That's kind of the hell of dying too early, and it's kind of just saying, you know, be a better person now. You know, I have family and friends and I don't want to make the same mistake again. And in this instance, it looks like the person's going to get a second shot. And all of a sudden these laughs come from everywhere. The Rev did those. Can you try to track them more like defined laughs, like that are not so distorted? You know, he just went in there and started laughing. He was laughing so hard, and he wasn't even, nothing was funny. He was just laughing, and I was laughing my ass off in the control room just because it just seemed so funny to me that he was doing laugh tracks over and over and over.
Awesome.
Dude, you're a fucking genius, dude.
To throw that in this song is the fucking best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
During the demoing of the song, we had strings on the keyboard that we were playing, and we eventually got to have Mark Mann come in.
One of the great things about Avenged Sevenfold, the guys, is that they're brave enough to try new things. They're also confident enough to know that their songs and their musicianship are just so great that they allow someone to come in and arrange things or add things, and that's a great honor. I mean, it's trust.
Oh, that is beautiful. And I like, they want to, what I really like, they love the music, and they want to like up the ante always, and I think that's pretty rad.
And that was really cool to work with him. He came in and did all the string parts that we wanted to have an intro and then slam into our traditional Avenged Sevenfold duels.
Sin's solo's out of control.
We had the string players, and we were playing through the song, and then it comes to the guitar solo, and Brian's guitar solo is just blistering. And Miles, the bass player, was just listening on his headphones, and he just had to turn around and look at the control room, and just with the biggest grin. And when that take was done, he just came out with, "My God, that's the greatest guitar solo I think I've ever heard."
Wow.
The solo in Afterlife was definitely a trek. It wasn't really written before the studio. I try and get as many solos written before I get in the studio as possible. Just creates a better vibe that way, and from what I gathered, the Rev wanted something ridiculously crazy.
On Afterlife, all the guitar work that Finn does on the album is just
I love that beanie. That beanie's everything.
mind-boggling, you know?
Where's it a mask? Oh, got it.
Oh, yeah, the Force. And it's a good look for you, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Oh, it sucked. Just listen. And even though it doesn't necessarily fit the song, I think its finest. It's definitely the most shredding solo on the album. It's ridiculous. It was fun to definitely push the boundaries. I've done stuff that I never thought I could ever play. It's definitely a great feat as far as I'm concerned.
That's just one of 11 examples of amazing fucking guitar solos.
That's how that song came about, and we're really proud of it. I think the Rev did an amazing job, and he really came up big on that song, and hell yeah. Hello?
Scream went dead.
We're Fred's fucking with us.
Fred needs.
It's really cool being able to see what goes on in all the work that they do in the background. You know what I mean? That's what's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen little videos of things like this. And by the way, I was looking on the album, and its album is critical acclaim. I'm kind of confused. Thought that it said that it is is that what it said? Self-titled album. So I'm kind of confused. So please put it in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Those things are pretty important. Let me see. Oh no, it's WMG. Is the license. That's why I keep getting like blocked and demonetized and everything like that. It's still worth it, even if I don't get paid, because I don't get paid very often at all. It's pretty grim, actually, the way the copyrights are now. And I still love what I do, and I want you to know that. It's nice to have some taco money or whatever you need, but when I get blocked, that's when I get really pissed. You know what I mean? Nobody gets to see it, then that's just shit. You know what I mean? I like it when at least people get to see the content and get to broaden their horizons or listen to songs they like, reactors and things like that. So we're going to cut this very close.
Needs a refresher course. Let's go back to Full Sail.
Oh, Fred didn't like that.
All right. Got a little more run up?
Got it now.
This? Oh. Okay, so that's Gunslinger, and I had... Goodness, I'm going to look this up because somebody asked me or requested it a while back. and I just have a lot of reactions for Avenged Sevenfold, and I have to kind of like rotate it around and stuff like that. Agus gonna win, and what I'm gonna do is go ahead and stop for right now, and then maybe tomorrow or something I'll do Gunslinger and then finish this a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy the documentary. So let me know if you're interested for the rest of it. I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.